Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Your support means a lot and helps this channel grow. So sit back, relax, and let's get started with today's video. Rocket sparkles. The 10p 10p coin of 1976 from the United Kingdom is an important part of British decimal coinage history. Decimalization in the UK was officially introduced on 15 February 1971, replacing the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence with a simpler decimal system. The 10p coin was one of the first decimal coins to be introduced, and its size, weight, and design were directly connected to the old currency system. The 1976 issue is particularly notable because it was minted during the early years of decimalization, when British citizens were still becoming familiar with the new coins. On the obverse front side of the 1976 10p coin, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II is featured. This portrait was created by Arnold Machen, one of the Royal Mint's leading designers. It shows the Queen wearing the "Girls of Great Britain and Ireland" tiara, a famous piece of jewelry that was gifted to Queen Mary in 1893 and later passed down. This portrait was introduced in 1968 and remained on British coins until 1984. Around the Queen's portrait, the inscription reads, "Elizabeth II D.G. Reg FD 1976, which expands to, Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith." The reverse back side of the coin was designed by Christopher Ironside, who created the designs for the original decimal coinage of the UK. It features a crowned lion, a strong heraldic symbol of England, representing power, authority, and tradition. The lion design is simple yet bold, capturing the dignity of the nation's heraldry. Below the lion is the denomination written as new pence, and the number 10, showing its value. The term, new pence, was used on all decimal coins from 1971 until 1981, when it was later changed to just 10p. In terms of specifications, the 1976 10p coin was made of cupro-nickel, an alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silvery appearance with durability for circulation. The coin had a weight of 11.31 grams, a diameter of 28.5 mm, and a thickness of about 2.5 mm. Its size was quite large compared to later issues, as the Royal Mint eventually reduced the size of the 10p coin in 1992 to make it more practical for everyday use. The edge of the 1976 10p coin is milled with fine grooves both for grip and to prevent clipping or counterfeiting. The historical context of 1976 also adds meaning to this coin. This was a time when Britain was adjusting to economic challenges, high inflation, and industrial unrest. Coins such as the 10p played an important role in everyday life, being widely used for purchasing small goods and services. Since paper money was usually reserved for larger denominations, the 10p coin became a common sight in pockets, wallets, and cash registers. From a collector's perspective, the 1976 10p coin is not considered rare, as millions were minted for circulation. However, its appeal lies in its representation of the early decimal coinage era and the use of the inscription, new pence. Collectors often seek this coin as part of complete decimal coinage sets. In circulated condition, it usually holds only face value, but in uncirculated or proof condition, its worth may be slightly higher depending on demand and preservation. The legacy of the 1976 Elizabeth II 10p coin is significant. Although it may not be a rare or valuable coin in monetary terms, it represents a transition period in British numismatic history. It is a reminder of the UK's shift into modern decimal currency and an enduring image of Queen Elizabeth II during the early decades of her reign. Today, when compared with the much smaller and lighter 10p coins in use, the 1976 version feels large and hefty, making it a nostalgic piece for those who remember using it in everyday transactions. The 10p Elizabeth II coin of 1968 is one of the most important coins in the history of British currency, as it represents the beginning of the decimalization system in the United Kingdom. Before 1971, Britain used the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence, which was more complex and difficult for trade. The 10-pence coin, first issued in 1968, was introduced as part of the gradual transition to decimal currency. It was officially valued at 1/10 of a pound sterling, 10 British pence, which made it equal to 2 shillings in the pre-decimal system. This was a key step toward the UK's complete decimalization in 1971, and that is why the 1968 issue holds historical importance for both collectors and historians. The obverse of the 1968 coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machen Raw, who was a famous British sculptor and designer. This portrait shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece of jewelry gifted to her by her grandmother, Queen Mary. Around the portrait, the inscription reads, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg FD 1968, which expands to Elizabeth II, Dei Gratia Regina, Fidei Defensor, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This design was used on many British coins during the late 1960s and 1970s and is one of the most iconic images of the Queen. The reverse of the coin was designed by Christopher Ironside, another respected artist and coin designer. It displays the crowned lion, passant gardant, which symbolizes the strength and power of Britain. Above the lion is a large crown, and beneath it is the denomination written as new pence, along with the number 10. The term, new pence, was used on all decimal coins issued between 1968 and 1981 to avoid confusion with the old pre-decimal coins. Later, in 1982, the wording was changed simply to 10 pence. In terms of specifications, the 1968 10-pence coin was struck in cupro-nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, which gave it a silver-like appearance and durability for circulation. It had a diameter of 28.5 mm, a weight of 11.31 grams, and a milled edge. This made it one of the larger coins in everyday use at the time, similar in size to the old florin. Because of its larger size, these early 10-pence coins became known as the large type 10p, which remained in circulation until 1992, when a smaller version of the coin was introduced to make handling easier. The 1968 10-pence coin is historically important because it was not only the first year of issue but also circulated before official decimalization in 1971. Millions of these coins were produced for circulation, so they are not considered rare in average circulated condition. However, uncirculated or proof versions, especially those in original sets, are sought after by collectors. Proof coins were struck to a higher standard and issued in special collector sets, making them more valuable today compared to regular circulation strikes. From a collector's perspective, the value of the 1968 10-pence depends largely on its condition. A heavily circulated coin usually holds only nominal value, but coins in brilliant uncirculated BU or proof condition can fetch higher prices. While common examples might be worth only a few pounds, pristine proof versions or coins in original mint packaging are considered desirable collector's pieces. For coin enthusiasts, the 1968 10p represents the beginning of modern British coinage and is often included in collections of decimal coins or Queen Elizabeth II series. In conclusion, the 1968 10-pence Elizabeth II coin is more than just a piece of money, it is a symbol of Britain's economic modernization. It reflects the transition from the complex pre-decimal system to the simpler decimal currency that is still in use today. With its detailed design by Arnold Machen and Christopher Ironside, strong symbolism of the crowned lion, and its place in the history of decimalization, this coin remains an important part of numismatic heritage. Collectors treasure it not only for its beauty and craftsmanship but also for the story it tells about a changing Britain in the late 1960s.